What's up? What's up, everybody? Peace. This is the Prime Sports Media right at you again. A lot has happened, everybody. We got a lot of great news, a lot of things to talk about. I will keep this podcast brief and to the point, but once again, we've been saying that there are going to be a lot of great players that are going to be trying to make their way to CU by way of the transfer portal. Coach Prime is in rare form to bring in a lot of great recruits. I'm going to go over the number. I know there's been a lot of guys that have come in and people have done individual videos, so I'm going to kind of sum up some of the guys that they have that have given a commitment, that are planning to transfer to CU. Coach Prime, I'm telling you, he's going to be the portal king, everybody. He was the portal king last year. And this is how it's almost like the NFL, where you have free agency, you have players that you draft that you want to come over. College football is turning into a junior version of the NFL, with the possibilities of bringing guys over through the transfer portal as a supplemental way to make up for the losses of guys that leave as seniors, guys that leave to the NFL. Coach Prime, I think, is doing all the right things, getting this team rebuilding the areas of the team that need to be improved from last year. And then they're going to have to get some receivers on this team. They have lost quite a bit of receivers due to, brothers, the Jimmy Horns of the world. They're seniors. They're not coming back. You have Amarion Miller, who had an injury during the season. Hopefully he can come back strong from this past season, not last year, but from this past season, right? You got Draylon Miller. I did a video about those two guys. The combination of them, I think, are going to be very dangerous. You got Draylon Miller. So you've got some young pieces on this team, but you need to bring over other talent to stabilize everything, because one of the strengths of this football team this year, and we're going to see them play out their last game in the Alamo Bowl against BYU. I know I said a week ago or so that I was showing you the footage of Shedeur Sanders' last throw to Travis Hunter. What I meant by that, because I think some people might have misunderstood, or maybe I didn't explain it properly, is that it's his last pass to Travis Hunter in regular Big 12 play. The postseason is totally different because you only play one game, obviously. So we are going to see him throw potentially touchdowns to Travis Hunter in the Alamo Bowl game. But as far as the regular season, that's what I meant when I was talking about that a week ago. Obviously, there are guys coming back on this football team that are young, talented guys that are waiting to show you what they can do. One of the people that I'm looking forward to seeing him be the main starter in that secondary is Stoudemire. Carter right here. Let's put him up. I'm looking forward to him really being to blossom, because remember, Travis is not going to be in the secondary, obviously, next season. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. Let's say congratulations to him again. And we know that Shiloh Sanders, he's gone. He's going to be gone in that secondary. So they're losing some guys, particularly my man Craig. Now, to me, he was the heart of the secondary. He's a senior. He'll be gone. So they've got a lot of they got a lot of pieces of the puzzle they got to make up. Preston Hodge will not be back from what I understand. He's a senior. So Coach Prime has got to bring in some fresh talent by way of the transfer portal. And there are guys that are interested, are looking at CU, and there's potential. So tonight we're going to go over some of the guys that they've already been able to be successful at getting. I'm very excited about this one right here. I want to talk about this man right here. Wait a minute. Let me go over this list right here. These are some of the list of players that people were saying that Colorado or CU was targeting, right? Colorado's 6 top targets in 2024-25 transfer portal, right? DeJounte Cook, wide receiver of Texas. I'm going to talk about him. There's a connection between him and the recent quarterback, Salters, that they just picked up. There's a connection that could lead this man to coming over. This guy, Cook, is a hell of a receiver coming out of Texas. Then you got Micah Hudson, wide receiver, Texas Tech. Okay. Kevin, who is a wide receiver out of North Carolina State. Joseph Williams, a wide receiver out of Tulsa. Jordan White, a center out of Liberty. And, of course, Lightfoot, defensive tackle out of Fresno State. Well, they've got Lightfoot out of Fresno State. I'll be talking about him tonight. This will be a brief podcast, but to the point. I want to thank those of you that are here. Omega Red, thank you for coming over. Shirley, thank you. Peggy Roster, Big, thank you for being here. Those that are here that are watching, I know it's late night. Some people are asleep. Some people are relaxing. But we're going to keep this thing going right now as quickly, as to the point as we possibly can, and I appreciate you. So these are some of the folks that they have signed. We got Carter Mills, okay? We got my man Oates, okay? The defensive lineman, defensive tackle, Oates, out of Alabama, who has he's the #1 defensive player in the transfer portal. He has signed with CU. Zach, the tight end out of Missouri State, has come over. Reginald Hughes, linebacker out of Jackson State, is coming on over. Buckner is coming over from Louisiana Tech. He's a kicker. We need another kicker. And, of course, Salter, quarterback out of Liberty. Lightfoot, as I talked about, out of Fresno. And then a defensive back. We need guys in the secondary. We got Vickers out of Oklahoma, everybody. So I want to go over these individuals. This man right here is, like I said, the #1 defensive tackle coming out of Alabama, and he is a disruptor. Now, we need this disruption within the middle of our defense because, unfortunately, teams were still able to sort of run on us, and when we need more guys like this who can not only stop the run but can put pressure on the quarterback, and I mean really get out there. He's a disruptor. Out of Alabama, when he played there, he did good things, and he's transferred over to us. This young man, here he is in high school right here. I'm very excited about what he brings to the table. This is his high school years, and this is what he told ESPN. Oates told ESPN that he's heading to Colorado to make the team great again. He made the pick because Sanders, because of Deion Sanders, because of Coach Lewis, the defensive line coach, because of Warren Sapp, the analyst coach on the team. There's a feeling that the combination of those three coaches can help Oatis maximize his vast potential. That's the reason why he wanted to go to CU. That's the reason why he's going to be with the team, giving us much needed interior defensive play and strength. But he can also get to the quarterback. This guy is kind of what I would call a balanced defensive tackle, can put pressure on the quarterback, can rush the quarterback, can get out there, and can also be physical and stopping the run. Let me give you some examples of what I'm talking about right here. Check this out.
Middle putting it together, a drive, little toss on 2nd and goal, and wow. That was a decleater coming from Jehiem Oatis.
Yeah, running the football, getting north and south. The last thing you want to see is number 91 at 6'5", 320.
Ewers scanning, batted up in the air, and a diving attempt incomplete.
They hand the ball off to Judkins. Not much is there. Remember, a touchdown.
Now, Jehiem Oatis, to say his name correctly here, You saw some small clips of him right there. Like I said, he can put pressure on the quarterback. He can put pressure on the run. This is exactly what we need. We need a disruptor within the interior of our defense, someone that's nasty, someone that's a dog, someone that will put pressure on the offensive line of the opposing team, someone who's got a what we call a motor that doesn't stop. And Jehiem Oatis is going to bring us that surely to see you. See him right here. I'm looking forward to us getting Oatis because this guy played in big-time SEC football with Alabama. To be recruited there, that means he had to be definitely a guy that had a motor. Nick Saban doesn't recruit guys who don't have a motor. He doesn't recruit guys who can't play football and cannot be disciplined to play in Nick Saban. Now, Nick Saban wasn't with the team this year. Obviously, he's retired from college football. But what I'm saying is we're getting a guy who has a lot of experience playing in big-time college football, playing against big-time talent. So he can only improve our interior defense at that defensive tackle spot. I'm happy that we have him and that he brings something to the table. What do you all think? Those of you that are in the chat room listening to the program tonight, which I really appreciate all of you that are here, that are coming over this late of night to hear my podcast as it relates to this situation. So Jehiem Oatis, to say the name correct here, I'm very excited about this, everybody. I couldn't be any more excited because we're getting, I think, from what the reports are saying, he is the best defensive player in this year's transfer portal. And Colorado has been the beneficiary. We are benefiting, from this man's abilities and talent. So even with us losing guys that are leaving because they're seniors, they're in the last year of their eligibility, even if we're losing guys, Nakai Hill-Green, I was very disappointed to hear that he's leaving, he's transferring. I don't know why he would transfer when he was a featured linebacker in the defense and he made a lot of plays and he was flying all over the place. I don't know why exactly he's leaving, but we're losing him. But while you lose guys, you're going to gain talent to balance the whole thing out. And I think Jehiem Oatis is definitely a guy, a player who's going to actually add to the defense when we lose someone like Nakai Hill-Green, everybody. What do you all think? Appreciate you watching tonight. Let's get back over to another prospect here. So after getting him, then we turn around. And here is a man right here, Reginald. Let's give him a clap. Reginald Hughes, who's transferring from Jackson State. Small program. When we say Jackson, a small program, but a kid who has another kid who has a motor. I'm very excited about him because they're saying that he played in Conference USA, but they're saying that he's the number one linebacker so far in this transfer portal. So he's leaving that program, that school, and coming out west, okay, to play for Coach Prime. He's got a motor, as I said before. He's got the skills. He's got the right thing. What do you think about this brother? Let's see what he can do on the football field. And here we go. Check this out. This is Reginald Hughes. Check this out. 45 minutes to 48 seconds. 45 to 48 seconds. That's the sweet spot, 45 to 48. All right. So there you see him doing his thing. Look at that. All right, so you see that right there. That's brother Reginald coming over Hughes. Definitely is a great addition to the team. There was something I wanted to bring up about him. I think this guy's a strong linebacker. He, to me, losing like Nakai Hill-Green, I didn't like to see the brother leave, but getting this young man right here as a new addition to the team, I think it will make up for the loss of Hill-Green, because this guy is ranked as one of the #1 linebackers in this transfer portal. What do you all think about the additional players so far, because it's not over, everybody, that Coach Prime has been able to acquire young men coming over from the transfer portal? And it's not over. There's going to be more. Remember, when they go into spring training, that whole 9 yard, you're still going to have another window for guys to leave school, right? So even though guys are not jumping into the transfer portal right now, those guys who don't jump in now could have a change of mind later and may jump in down the line when things really start kicking. But what do you think about what they have so far, ladies and gentlemen? You got the #1 Jehiem Oatis. You got the #1 defensive player in Jehiem Oatis. And then you got Reginald Hughes, who come over from the Jackson State program at Conference USA. What do you think about the additions? Peggy Rosser says that Coach Prime allows his players to go into different positions on the field like he did with Travis Hunter, which I think is good. That is good. Brian Johnson says Todd Bowles' son's in the portal and is a linebacker, and let him come on our way. Let him come on our way. We got Pretty Minnie in the house. How you doing, my sister? She says, I feel you, but at least we have one more game. Yeah, we have one more game. And this is the thing I'm wondering. Those players that are transferring, maybe I'm asking you guys a very obvious question here. Those guys that are leaving in the transfer portal, for example, like Nakai Hill-Green, I got a question for you. Does he play in the bowl game, or does he? How does this work? Is Coach Prime, is Nakai Hill-Green, who you see on the screen here, and those players that are transferring in the portal, are they going to be playing in the game against BYU and then that's it? Or are they not going to be allowed to play because they've already declared that they're leaving the team? How does that work? Can anybody not allowed? So Brian Johnson says that it's not allowed. So that means Nakai Hill-Green will not be. See, this is my concern. I don't want us to have a skeleton crew of guys out there playing, because they want to win that game. So Nakai Hill-Green, because he's transferring, he will not be allowed by NCAA rules. And I'm not saying they got a skeleton. They got great players on this team still, but he was one of the people who made up the defense playing the way it played this year. So now, so let's get this right. Nakai Hill-Green, because he has declared to enter the transfer portal, will not be allowed to play in the Alamo Bowl. Is that correct? If that is correct, put yeses in the chat room. Put sevens if you know that is correct. I'm just curious, because I was very disappointed to hear that he was going to forego his senior year and go somewhere else. I didn't like when I heard about that. So Brian Johnson says yes. So the answer to that, to everybody listening, is that any of the players that decide that they're going to go to the transfer portal, no matter who they are, they will not be allowed to participate in the Alamo Bowl. Those are the rules, everybody. Those are the rules. That's how it works. Interesting. Thank you, Brian Johnson, for adding that information. I just wanted to get your buy-in on what's going on with that. Let me come over to another player that I'm excited about. Now, a lot of people are already saying, is this a this is what the media is putting out there, everybody. People in the media are already talking about, there was a headline today, has Coach Prime unknowingly created a quarterback controversy as it relates to Juju, because he's, Juju's going to be the man. He committed to us, right? But did he create a quarterback controversy because he went out and got maybe one of the, I think in this transfer portal so far, one of the better quarterbacks who has a lot of experience, and he's a dual threat quarterback in terms of his ability to throw the ball and run the ball in that spread offense, which is going to be a different dimension than what we got from Shedeur Sanders, right? Shedeur, we know that Shedeur runs the ball to pass the ball, as Coach Prime says, right? When he scrambles, he's really looking to throw the ball, not necessarily to run. But now we've got a guy who's a little bit different than Shedeur. I'm not saying he's better than Shedeur, but he's a guy that's more of a guy that fits a spread offense in terms of the dual threat to run, right? And he can pass. I got some footage for you to see, and we're talking about Salter. This young man right here, who I think is going to be a great addition to the team. He's out of conference as well. He's out of conference USA. Here he is right here. And they're already saying that Coach Prime may have created a quarterback controversy because we know that Juju has already made it known that he would love to start in his first year as a freshman at CU. However, Coach Prime, he said he's running a pro system. What's a pro system like? Is that you're going to create competition, right? Competition is good. It brings the best out of people, right? You got to earn your starting position. You don't just get it. You don't just get it given to you. You got to earn. So I think bringing Salters in, who will be playing, I believe, in his last year of eligibility, I think it would be good for Juju to have someone who has college experience that he can learn behind, that he can watch and learn little things from. But damn it, you know that they're going to be when they get back, when they get into camp, when they get into spring training, fall, whatever you call it, camp, you know that Juju is going to try to compete with this young man right here for that starting position and let the best man win. We know that Juju is no doubtedly the future of this football team, no doubt. But if we can get a guy that comes in like Salter with the experience that he has playing, I see it as a win-win. I don't see it as a bad situation. How do you all see it? What do you all think about it? I don't see it as a bad. I see it as excellent in bringing an experienced quarterback over. Let me let you see what this guy is capable of doing. Check this out.
Oh, he's getting it. They fake it. Oh, Salter. How clever is that? Touchdown, Liberty.
Has some time. Fighters downfield. Has a man. It's caught. C.J. Daniels inside the 10. Spins his way in another third long situation. Salter fires down the middle of the field. Guess who? Reese Smith.
Run him out into the flat.
Salter looking for the tight end again. Same spot as earlier.
All right, here we go. Oh, quickly in and look.
Sibley in motion. It's going to be Salter keeping it. Salter, a fake Salter.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what Salter brings to the football team is his ability to run, to scramble. Shedeur ran to get the ball down the field. This young man can throw the ball, and you saw video clips of him throwing the football. But he seems like he's more intentional in terms of when he runs the ball, he's trying to run the ball, right? He's trying to run. And so it's going to be different because Shedeur kind of gave us that threat that he could scramble around, he can get around, he can make people miss, and he had a strong arm to get it down the field because ultimately that's really what he was trying to do, run to throw it. And every now and then, Shedeur was able to scramble and make some plays when he had to. But what this kid, Salters, brings to the table is that he might be even more, I'm just saying, he could be, if you look at video on him, he might be a more dynamic runner of the football when he does try to run versus not trying to pass, where Shedeur is more dynamic and throwing the ball when running. So we're going to get a different combination out of this young man. Looks like Coach Prime is creating competition. Juju is going to have to earn his stripes, earn his opportunity to be a starter. And I think it's a good thing if either one of these guys unfortunately get hurt during the season. I think it's not a bad thing to have Juju ready to go, or have someone that can back Juju up in case Juju has a situation where he gets hurt. Either one of these guys, I think. Of course, Juju's got to prove himself. Julian Lewis has got to prove himself at the college level. I think he can play very well at the college level. I think that he's a blue chipper, been one of the best high school quarterbacks in the country. But I think bringing him in with Salter, I think, was a good move by Coach Prime. Don't listen to the haters out there. Don't listen to the ponders out there, the media, sports media folks out there that are already trying to bring in negativity with, Coach Prime has created a controversy with the quarterbacks. Don't listen to that nonsense. They just want to create dissension within the team. You have to have depth on your team. You have to have a good backup on your team. Of course, everybody that's there is going to be fighting for a starting position. So we'll see what happens. Now, I want to read this to you. It says right here about Salter. Salter was a superstar at Liberty in 2023. Okay, he nearly threw. He missed. I mean, this man put up damn near 4,000 total yards of offense with 44 total touchdowns. That's not bad, y'all. And 6 interceptions. That's not bad in 2023, right? He had a down, but this is the problem. He had a down season in 2024. But he played with talented. This is the guy. This is what I like right here. Shedeur had a talented roster, a talented roster of receivers. Well, Salters, when he played at Liberty, he was no stranger himself to playing with talented receivers, because it was put out there that he played with a talented crop of wide receivers and an offensive line as well. Another step forward in 2025 should allow the dual threat signal caller, as I said, he's a dual threat signal caller, to thrive. I think he's going to thrive in a Pat Shurmur offense. With that, so that's another dimension. You spread teams out. Now you have a quarterback who can throw the ball. So for us to lose Shedeur, who clearly could throw the ball superiorly, right? To lose Shedeur, but then have someone who comes in who can now give us that running element and can still throw the ball down the field. I say that we're in good hands, and Coach Prime has made a premium pickup. What do you all think?
Tell the truth.
Now, this is what's special about this. I think in my last video, everybody, I talked about this young man right here, Ajante Cook, wide receiver from Texas. There's a relationship between him and Salters. He put out a cryptic message today, everybody, because this is one of the guys, Cooks, out of Texas, that everybody is saying that, hell, it's a no-brainer. CU needs receivers. They need to fill up that receiving room with talented receivers, and Ajante Cook from Texas would be a great addition. He brings speed, he brings shiftiness, and that's a guy that everyone is saying that they need to get this guy. Well, he has a relationship, as I said before, with Salters, and he made this cryptic statement today. I was reading this article that you see right here. Ajante Cook fuse Colorado transfer portal rumors with a 2-word message to Salters. And basically the message was kind of cryptic, but he was basically saying that the fact that CU has Salters, who he has chemistry with, who he is friends with, he's saying that just as well may influence him to commit to CU and come on through the transfer portal to play at CU because he wants to play with his man Salters. Did y'all hear what I'm saying? Brian Johnson says, does Cook have the right attitude for the Buffs? Well, that's yet to be seen. We have to, with all these players, Brian, and Pretty Minnie and everybody that's coming in, thank you for being here. Adu, Raheem, everybody that's coming in. I see we got Richards in the house. Peace to you, one of the mods. We got Mice, the Marvel guy, coming in. With all these guys, we got to see if the attitude is right. Remember, who was the guy that they got out of, remember last year, remember during the beginning of the season, who's the guy that they got from the Florida Raptors, the HBCU school, the Johnny Chainsaw, right? He turned out to not, something happened and he ended up leaving CU, right? So sometimes you can, know this, everyone knows this, sometimes you can pick these players and they have great physical talent, but maybe there's an old saying, sometimes your physical talents can bring you to places that your mind is not ready for. So these guys are talented, but are their minds ready for the way Coach Prime runs his program and what his expectations are, and the coaching staff's expectations and the school's expectations? So you make a very compelling point there. Let's see. Pretty Minnie says, calm down. It's okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think the young man is very talented with wide receiver. And if CU can get Cook to come on over and you've got Salter who is influencing him to come over, then I say that's a win-win for CU. And I'm sure Coach Prime will figure out if he's got the right stuff that it takes mentally, like all the players, to play at CU. I want to stay positive about this whole thing. Now, someone that we got now is LightFoot. This is a young man, another big guy. Remember, Coach Prime said, you better get me now because I'm about 8 or 9 guys away from being able to do what I really want to do. He said, everyone said that what CU needs is bigger bodies in that defensive interior line. Just like they got with Oaks coming over from Alabama. Now you got another young man who's strong, who's big, shifty, who's coming over. And this is LightFoot out of Fresno State. So I'm looking forward to how I think their defensive line is going to be bigger. In particular with these two guys, they're going to have a stronger, I believe, in the interior of the defensive line. Yeah, he's a hog coming. That's right, Wild Dog. This is my theory here. With LightFoot coming over, right? And then we got Oaks coming over, right? Oaks from Alabama. These guys are big. These guys are hogs. The defensive line, particularly in the interior, is going to be bigger with these guys. And God knows who else is going to be coming over to CU. They're going to be bigger in the interior line on this team, which means what? This is good for us, everybody. What was the one thing that the team still struggled with? Stopping the run. Teams running up the middle, but up the middle of the defense. You put two big hogs in the middle of the defense, of your defensive line. You can control that line of scrimmage. You can control a lot of shit. And if the defensive tackles are hitting those gaps, causing problems and disruption on the opposing offensive line, what does that do for the linebackers? It allows the linebackers to hit the gaps. It allows the linebackers to be even more disruptive. It allows the secondary, the safeties and the cornerbacks to be able to cover their play because you got two hogs in the middle clogging things up while you got the outside defensive ends or the edge rushers coming off those edges, putting pressure on the quarterback. And you got two big hogs. And like I said, one of the things I like about Oaks is that he is not only good against the run, but he does damage against the pass as well, putting pressure. I showed you a video where he knocked the ball down. I showed you a video where he's heavy on pursuit. This is, I think, an upgrade. I'm going to be honest. These two guys coming over, Oaks along with Lightfoot, I believe, and these guys are coming over with college football experience. I think this is going to add, I think we're going to have a more dangerous interior defensive line. So I think this is a great move. What do you all think? Red zone 10, Daddy. Let me see. Lightfoot ain't big enough. Let me see. Jamil Oaks is not no damn. Yeah. Let me just say this to you. We'll have to see what they bring to the table. Now, you say he's not, you say that Lightfoot is not big enough. Richard says Juju committed already and he can learn behind Salter. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can learn. I think it's good for him to learn his freshman year under an experienced quarterback, and then he can surely be ready to be the starter going into the following year. But let's say Salter ends up being the starter of this football team and he gets hurt. I say, damn it, that's a great, hey, we've got Juju in the fold. Let's say Juju plays and outplays him in practice and outthinks him with the playbook. And let's say Juju gets the starting job and then something happens to him and he gets hurt. We don't want that to happen, of course. Then I would say, damn it, you can't go wrong with having someone like Salter on the team who can step in and has the ability to play as he's already proven. Like I told you, this man Salters has already put up almost 4,000 yards of offense when he was with Liberty. So I think that this is once again, a very good addition to the team. Now, someone else I want to talk about here is an offensive center or interior offensive lineman in Carter Miller, who has now committed to the ball club. Okay. Here is another example of him in full uniform in a game. He comes over from a smaller program, but let's break down what he's about. So Carter Miller, position offensive lineman. He's 6'2", junior here, 300 pounds, a big boy. We need that. He's out of Fort Worth, Texas. He played in 11 games, making 8 starts at left guard. So he's versatile. We're getting a young man who can not only play center, but he can play left guard. I think he's an interior offensive lineman. So Coach Prime likes to get guys who can play multiple positions, okay? He was part of an offensive line that helped rank helped in ranking top 30th in the FBS, okay? In 6 offensive categories, wow, which included tied for 6 in passing touchdowns, 36 and 13 in passing efficiency ratings, 162. Wow. Completions, 67.3%, everybody, and 17th in yards per pass attempt at 8.6, 20th in passing yards at 28.48, and 23rd in scoring offense, and they went 34-1. This man is coming from a team in the time that he has played there that he's coming from a team that he's had experience with. In the time that he's been there, over the course of time, they have won 34 to lost one game, 34-1. So he's coming from a small program, of course, but he's coming from a winning attitude, and he's coming from playing on an offensive line that made it possible that this university that he played for could win some games, can be successful. And I think that's fantastic. ULM, where he played. So I'm putting it up there because I just think it's important to recognize that Coach Prime has got some guys coming over who have some talent, okay? We got Wild Dog who says, has Juju actually turned 17 or is he almost? I'm not sure. That's a very good question. Very good question, sir. Very good question. Texas Hogs, that's right. Pretty Mini says he's bigger as we say in the South. Okay. That's like comparing C.J. Stroud versus, Jamarcus Russell. Man, Juju, that guy, young man, played like a 20. Yeah, I'm not saying, look, Coach Prime is bringing them in for competition. That's what you do. You got to have a good backup if you're going to have one. If whoever starts, you got to have. I feel good about whoever starts. I want Juju to start. But I feel good that if something happens, we got two guys on the team, hopefully can handle the pressure. Okay, now we know that Salters again has college football experience. That's a plus. That's the blessing of the transfer portal. Now, let's talk about this young man here, Zach, who played with the Bearcats, another small school. He's a tight end, if I'm not mistaken. I'm looking forward to what he can bring to the table. Here he is right there. He has now committed to CU. He's a tight end again. There he is in uniform right there. And very dynamic young man. Let's talk about what his background, background is about. Check this out. Zach brings a solid experience and production to Colorado. Right? Roster. After redshirting during his 2022 season, he appeared in 17 games over the past 2 years. Very, very, very interesting, y'all. Okay, over the past 2 years, recording 30 receptions for 360 yards, 4 TDs. He has size and athleticism that makes him a very good addition to Colorado's offensive scheme, with the potential to play significant roles regardless of who lines up under center, because he's got great size, great agility, great skill. So this is a guy, you know how you have different types of tight ends. You have tight ends that are blocking tight ends. You have tight ends that are mostly receiving tight ends. Looks like Zach is more of a balanced tight end where he can stay in the game and block and then turn around and run those routes to get open and make plays. So I think so far it sounds like he's a good addition to the program. Let's give him a clap. All right. Let's talk about this young man right here, Vickers. Oklahoma defensive back Vickers is currently expected to enter the transfer portal. Sources tell CBS News. This is prior to him committing. He was a class of 23 top 75 overall recruited and went to Oklahoma Sooners, right? And then he has now jumped in the transfer portal. CU has got him. Young man looking good right here in practice. Here he is right here. Another breaking news. Oklahoma transfer defensive back Vickers has committed to Colorado. He tells the 6'1", 194 defensive back will have 3 years of eligibility remaining. He's a top 85 recruit in 2023 class. And we got him, everybody. We got him. But what I want y'all to know about the young man is that Vickers spent the last 2 seasons with the Sooners, but failed to ever really crack the defensive back rotation and makes a big impact for Brent Venables and company during that time. During his time in Norman, Vickers recorded 9 tackles and 1 pass breakup. He will step into a Colorado defensive back room that has lost starters such as Craig, right? Shallow Sanders, along with corner Preston Hodge and, of course, Travis Hunter. So maybe what's happening is that y'all let me know what you think about the young man. Maybe, maybe he didn't get a chance to play that much at Oklahoma. Maybe it wasn't because he didn't have the talent. Maybe their secondary room was filled with a lot of guys that were ahead of him. So he'll have an opportunity, obviously, to show what he can do and see you. Coach Prime's going to give him an opportunity to see what he can do. We got 2 things we got to fill, everybody. We got to fill that receivers room with some more receiving talent, and we've got to get some more secondary talent in here. So he adds to the addition of what we have right here. Let me give you, if you want some additional information on Vickers, let me give you the scouting report on him, okay? This is a scouting report that came from 24/7 Sports. And this is what the scouting report said about him. I'm going to highlight a few things. He's a bigger defensive back with legitimate top-end speed, talking about Vickers right here, okay? He's 6'1". He pushes closer to 190 pounds as the thick throughout the torso. Talking about his torso, the way he's built. This was a scouting report on him coming out of high school, okay? He's a sub 11 time in the 100 meter dash. He has clear 21 feet in the long jump. Wow. A natural playmaker on the back end with ball skills that are he's quick to read and diagnose the play. He's impressive in the open field as a tackler. God knows we need a defensive back that can tackle. Tackling's very important. We saw games where CU struggled at times with wrapping up and tackling in situations from time to time. Okay. Another thing to know about him, like I said, he's good at wrapping up defenders when he tackles them. Loose hip that allows him to get east and west better than most in terms of his size. He's tops as a safety, but was also utilized at Oklahoma as an outside cornerback. Coach Prime, again, likes versatile players. Vickers brings versatility to the situation at CU now. We need a guy who brings versatility. I think it's a good thing that we can play him both at safety. We can play him both at defensive back. He can come in as a nickel. We'll see how this whole thing plays out. But this is what they did with him at Oklahoma, that they played him at safety, but they also brought him in as a cornerback. He didn't get a lot of playing time, but they recognized his dual threat ability, okay? Now, Vickers found success, according to the reports, scouting reports. This is coming out of high school. He found success in both roles and registered 68 tackles coming out of high school when he was a high school phenom. Now, this guy was a highly ranked player coming out of high school. Check this out right here about Vickers, who we're getting. He should be viewed as a potential multi-year starter for a Power 5 program. Someone that will also likely add some special teams value. So now, what was one of the things that we had some issues with last year a few times? Special teams. So now he gives you, once again, he's a multi-player. He can play safety. He can play defensive back. Vickers brings us the ability to contribute on special teams. I just wanted to talk about that because we're getting some really good talent here so far in the transfer portal, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see what happens over the weekend. I'm looking forward. I hope you're looking forward to the talent that may be coming in very soon. Let me go right here and look at what people are saying. Let's see. Richard says Shallow needs to take his emotions out and just play. I want them to play really hard against BYU in the Alamo Bowl. We got Shallow is a dog. Stop it. The man's right. Shallow could not tackle, so call out Deion's son. Wow. Let's see. We got Wild Dog who says, I hope Vickers is healthy. I hope he's healthy too, Wild Dog. You're making a very good point. Let's see. Red Z10 said, Julian needs to develop and put on weight. Remember when Shador broke his back because he was underweight, and it'd be the same for Julian. Well, that's why Red ZX10, Daddy, this is why I think the addition of Salters is a good move on Coach Prime's part to get him, because I really think that he would benefit from playing behind Salters, learning from Salters, learning from the system, getting himself acclimated so that when he's the starter, which I think the full-time starter going into the following year, and then he can work on what you said, getting stronger, putting on a little bit more weight, getting stronger, learning how to read college defenses and everything that's going to be thrown at him. I think this is a good situation that Julian Lewis, I think it's a good situation that he's coming into, as far as I'm concerned. I think he's going into a great situation where he can learn, he can get better, and maybe at some point in time we're going to see him play this year. Juju may very well surprise us all and come into camp and beat Salters out for the starting position. And if he does, I'll give him claps. If he does, I will give him all the respect that he deserves to have, everybody. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Let's
go over here and, wow. I'm going to read some more what you all are saying in the chat room. Let's see here. Peggy Rosser says, Hospring says, thanks. New role, 6 foot plus defensive back. Right. You guys already know that in the NFL, they like really tall, lean defensive backs, guys that can do press coverage. This is the thing. We had Preston Hodge who could do press coverage, right? DJ McKinney, we know he can do press coverage or man-to-man. My question is, can Vickers play man-to-man defense? Because that's what we witnessed them play defense in that type of scheme, the man-to-man scheme with a little bit of zone here and there. But it looks to me that Coach Prime likes guys who can play press coverage or guys that can play that man-to-man coverage. The question is, can Vickers, and the verdict is out on him, is he better at zone or is he better at man-to-man defense? These are the questions that the coaching staff are going to evaluate when he comes into camp. And we know that the recruits that are coming out of high school, they can work out with the team. My question is, the guys that are in the transfer portal, can Vickers start working? This is the question I have for everybody in the chat room. Guys like Vickers who have now are coming over in the transfer portal, can they work out? Can they practice with them with the Alamo Bowl? They can't play in the Alamo Bowl, of course, but can they? I guess they can, because the freshmen, the recruits out of high school, can work out with the team at the Alamo Bowl. So I guess the transfer portal guys can as well. So that's the curious question about Vickers. Can he, with his athletic ability, because they say he's athletic, is he a guy that's more of a zone type of cornerback like they do in the NFL, or is he more of a man-to-man? I'm going to press coverage you. I'm going to get up in your face and get nasty. We'll have to see.
Tell the truth.
You tell me what you think in the chat room, everybody. Peggy Rosser says, please hit the like. Yeah, please hit the likes, everybody. Share the video on your social media. We're going to go a little bit longer before I end the program tonight. Let's see. Gear says, hopefully he still has another inch of 2 of growing. Growing. At 17, he still has a chance to get bigger. Right, he could. Yeah, Juju could get bigger. And I know that's one of the knocks on Juju that people are already trying to say, oh, is he too small to play the game? Is he too short? He could grow. He could get bigger. He's, like you said, he's only 17 years old, if I'm not mistaken. So give the man time, give the man a chance to develop. He's just signed. He's just becoming a part of the program. Let's give him a chance. How many players left CU? I checked earlier video. They practice look small. It's like everyone left. Oh man, I'm gonna tell you right now. I hope that's not true. I'm going to take a look at Well-Off Media, Deion Sanders Jr., Bucky. I'm going to take some look at some of those videos and see what's going on. Maybe they're just showing you a small number of guys that are working on a particular thing. I don't know. I just know that if those guys are leaving, the covers will be bare when it comes to playing in that bowl game. Now, Coach Prime has made it clear that Shallow, Shador, all of these guys that are going on to the NFL, and Travis Hunter, they're going to play in the bowl game. Well, let's hope. Let me see. Richard says there's 20 left. 20 left? What? Wait a minute. Richards, that's confirmed something here. When you say 20 left, what do you mean 20 left? Meaning only 20 players on the football team overall? We know the seniors can still play because it's a post game. It's a post game. We know that it was said tonight by Brian Johnson that was here in the chat room tonight that if any player jumps in the transfer portal, they can't play in the bowl game. So clarify that a little bit more. I'm really, man, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all, folks. Thank you for watching, all 114 of you tonight. Thank you for watching the program. I know it's late for you. I'm going to be coming to a conclusion very soon, but I don't like what I hear there. I want to bring up something that I want to remind you all about. It came out today. So we know that Travis Hunter has won the Heisman Trophy, right? But check this out. This man is not only a great athlete on the field, but he's a great student in the classroom. And I'll tell you why. Let me let you see something here. So check this out. Check this out, everybody. Colorado Buffalo's two-way superstar and 2024 Heisman Trophy winner Travis was excellent on and off the gridiron, achieving an outstanding GPA score. This is fantastic. It was revealed early this week that Hunter was named an academic All-American, sporting a 3.798 accumulative, GPA. The junior from Savannah, Georgia, anthropology major, is an anthropology major carrying a 3.798 accumulative GPA. In the fall of 2023, Hunter earned a 4.0 GPA. So remember, his GPA was a 4.0, right? Accumulative, what his GPA overall is a 3.798. So this young man last year had a 4.0 GPA. He's a genius. This young man is smart. Wow. And Colorado ain't no easy university. That ain't no easy university, okay? Followed that up with a spring 2024 semester GPA of 3.908, earning him first team all academic honors.
True.
Do you understand how important that is? Because we spend a lot of time talking about Travis Hunter's athletic ability, right? His ability of what he does on the field, right? All the great plays he makes, the interceptions, the blocking of the knocking of balls down, the receptions, the shiftiness in his abilities, right? His abilities to play both sides of the ball, what has gotten him the Heisman Trophy, right? And what it shows you is that Travis Hunter ain't just what you would call a guy who's just all brunts but no brains. But this young man is an academic All-American, as well as a All-American athlete, all-world beater athlete, and this year's Heisman Trophy. He's racked up a lot of trophies, a lot of honors this year. And then to turn around and be getting 4.0s and high cumulative GPAs and majoring in anthropology. This is a young man that with that kind of academics, he's going to be graduating. I'm sure he's walking across that stage with a degree in his damn hand. So I think this is very special because of all the distractions that he has as being CU's, one of CU's top players or the top player outside of Shedeur Sanders. This man has been, and Shedeur is great in his own right, but we got to give it up to Travis Hunter, that he has managed to be dominant on the football field while maintaining his grades and what have you. That is to be commended. Most definitely to be commendable. What do you all think about that? Any starting hope? Let me see. Any starters hope? Not many. Oh my God, I don't like what I'm hearing about what you all are saying in the chat room as it relates to who they have. Let me see. My man Adu Rahim is here. Rahim, let me see. Adu says Travis uses both sides of his brain. That's right.
True.
Shirley says, congratulations to Travis. Yeah, I think it's great. Hill and Woods is the biggest hit so far. Yeah, well, Trevor Woods didn't play that much this year. Remember, Trevor Woods was one of the guys who decided to meet with Coach Prime and say that he wanted to be, we forget that Coach Prime had already told us that the young man was going to be in the not transfer portal, but he was going to be redshirted, that he was asking for a red shirt. And now you see what he did. He got a red shirt, and now he's leaving. And I was going to put this up, too, about this. Here it is right here. Let's put this up right here. Colorado veteran linebacker safety Trevor Woods has entered the transfer portal, and I have learned from CBS. This is from CBS Sports that reported this. It says here, he has 167 career tackles and 3 career interceptions. That's Trevor Woods. He's leaving. Good luck to him. Hey, he leaves, but hey, that opens up another slot for another player, and we can improve that area of the football team. He was one of the guys I said before that was looking to be redshirted. He used that red shirt so that he could jump himself in a portal and go elsewhere. I find that very interesting. But, this is the way college football is. Guys are going to leave. Things are going to happen. Another report I want to talk about real quick before I end tonight's show is Coach Prime said this on his own Twitter or X today, everybody. He says, this was happening because this is the media. This is the mainstream media running their mouth, everybody. He says, a lie don't care who tells it. Please stop trying to become relevant by misrepresenting my son. God bless you. The NFL Watch said this: Shedeur Sanders is reportedly preparing to be drafted by the Las Vegas Raiders or the Dallas Cowboys in the upcoming NFL draft. There is a reported of a high likelihood that Sanders or Shedeur Sanders will refuse to play if he is drafted by either the Giants or the Browns. So if he was to refuse to play for the Giants or Browns, this is where they're getting this thought that the Dallas Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders would be in play to draft him. I'm going to be honest with you, and I get where Coach Prime is coming from here, but this is where I have to give my opinion about this. I don't want to see Shedeur Sanders playing for the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are a bad football organization. Every time you think they're about to break out and be a breakout team, they go right back to what they are, okay? I don't like the Browns organization. I don't like their uniforms. Nothing. I don't like I don't see that being a place for Shedeur. Cold ass Cleveland. I like to see Shedeur in a big time city with a big time team that at least has a history of winning. Now, the Cleveland Browns do have a history of winning, but that was the team that you see in Baltimore. Let me give you some history. The team that's in Baltimore, the Baltimore Ravens, which used to have the Colts, which was the Baltimore Colts, they left Baltimore in the middle of the night. The owner of that year, during that time, people in Baltimore hated him. He took that team. That's why they haven't had success. It's a curse on them, y'all. He took that team. No. Let me correct myself. No. The original owner of the Cleveland Browns took the original Cleveland Browns team to Baltimore. They changed the name to the Ravens. And that's when they had Ray Lewis and everybody, right? They were actually the Browns. And then they gave the Cleveland Browns a new expansion Browns team. So if you want to know the truth, the real Cleveland Browns team is in Baltimore. They're called the Baltimore Ravens. So Cleveland, if that team had stayed in Cleveland, they would have all the players and the coaching staff that they got. They would have Ray Lewis. They would have everybody because they were the Browns. But they changed those uniforms, those ugly uniforms, went to a new city and became the Ravens. What you got in Cleveland right now is an imposter team that just can't seem to get out of their own way. So I don't want to see Shedeur. This is my personal opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but this is my personal opinion. I don't want to see Shedeur playing with the Cleveland Browns. I can stomach him playing with the Giants because at least that's a football organization that has had some tradition of success or has had history of success. But I would rather see Shedeur personally with the Dallas Cowboys, even though they got problems too. But it's a bigger brand. I would like to see him with the Raiders. That's a bigger brand too. You say what you feel, but that's the latest news that Coach Prime was saying that too many people are making claims that Shedeur is going to refuse to play for whichever one of those teams pick him. Is going to refuse, and they're comparing it to the Manning, one of the Manning brothers, right? Was it Eli? Yeah, Eli Manning. Remember, Eli Manning was originally drafted by the San Diego Chargers, who are now the LA Chargers. He didn't want to go there because, once again, they had bad management. They had a bad team, but it was the people running the team that were horrible. And at that time, Elon Miley, I guess I'm tired tonight. Eli Manning was not happy with the idea of playing for those teams, and he went to the Giants. The rest is history. He won some Super Bowls. It turned out pretty good for Eli Manning with the Giants, and at that time, the Giants had a good front office, a good team that they built around him. And the question is, if Shedeur goes to any of these teams, I think his success, he can have success, but he really needs a better coaching and a better coaching staff around him, a better front office, a team that's willing to say, we're going to build around Shedeur. We're going to give him the receivers he needs. We're going to give him the offensive line he needs. We're going to build the defense up. That's what he needs. He needs a situation like that, and a critical situation in that to me, I want to see him in that situation to be set up for success early in his career. So we'll see. We'll see, everybody. One of the things that Shedeur is going to have to work on at the NFL level, and I'm sure you all know this, he's got to get rid of the ball a lot quicker, because the defensive players in the NFL get to you quicker. The edge rushers are more, they're faster, stronger. The defensive tackles are stronger. The blitz packages, everything that they do is going to be that much faster. So Shedeur, that was one of his issues in the years that he was at CU, is that he sometimes, even though he was running the ball to throw the ball, there were times when he would hold on the ball just a little bit too long than he should. And in the NFL, they will punish you. And that's my one concern that I'm sure teams will talk to him about, and they will coach him up to get rid of the ball within a certain amount of time. So everybody, I appreciate you being here tonight, listening to the program. This is Prime Sports Media. I'm going to be back with more presentation whenever I see the other players that they may get in the transfer portal. So if we get a news of a new guy coming in tomorrow, or a couple of guys, or this weekend, I will surely do a video to talk about those players, the talent, and what have you. I'm looking forward to the Alamo Bowl to see Shedeur, Travis Hunter, all those players play for the last time together. But I'm a little concerned because Richard, or some folks in the chat room, said that they only had 20 players practicing. Is that correct? Because that scares me. Richard says 2025 season starts off with a bang. What's that? Georgia Tech is an up-and-coming team. GT is an up-and-coming team. Tough game. Big 12. Wow. Wild Dog says some teams just want to sell jerseys and hype, while other organizations are building and winning. That's exactly, you took the words right out of my mind. We got a dude who says there's a tank for Shedeur campaign in Vegas. I like I said, I would rather see him go to a team that has a history of winning, a team that has better personnel. I would love to see Shedeur be coached by Pierce, another brother coaching him. I would love to see that, but that's just my wishful thinking. Richard says no leaving. Prime Sports Media. Thank you for supporting me. What's that? You got the name HOOSHPIN Pin. Thank you for coming over tonight and being a part of the program. Peggy Rosser says 49ers. Oh, yeah. The 49ers are having a bad season, but I don't think the 49ers, Peggy, will be drafting high enough to get them. Unless, this is one of the rumors out there, maybe the 49ers will package Brock Purdy. There's a rumor that people think that the 49ers, if they don't want to pay Brock Purdy a big contract because he's coming off of he's going into a contract year, that they might want to move up the draft and package Purdy as part of that to move up. But I don't think they're going to be able to move up higher enough to get to Shedeur, because I don't see any team. If I was a football team that needed a quarterback, I'm not going to take Purdy over Shedeur, unless you have a team that's drafting high up and they don't need a quarterback, right? This is how it works. So let's say there's a team that doesn't need a quarterback at all. And the 49ers, well, no. Any team that would take Purdy, they would take Purdy because they need a quarterback. So I think it wouldn't work that way. Unless they package Debo, Samuels, or something. I don't know how they would do it. I don't know. I don't know, but I just don't think the 49ers are going to be able to get him. I think he's going to get picked by one of these teams like the Browns and the Giants, the teams that have the really horrible records in comparison. Let's see what Richard says here. Richard says, everyone enjoy your holiday. Yeah, enjoy your holidays, everybody. Tell somebody that you love them. I'm getting ready to sign off pretty soon here. Good teams with Good team with off year due to injuries would be nice. Right. See, this is the thing, Wild Dog. You tell me if I'm wrong or right. This is the thing. I know that Shedeur wants to be number one. I know Travis Hunter wants to be number one, right? Number one draft pick, right? But the problem when you're the number one draft pick is that you more than likely end up going to a really bad football team with a really bad maybe coach, a bad organization. Look at Caleb Williams. He went to the Bears. Guess what? I knew Caleb Williams was going to have problems with the Bears. I knew the Bears were going to fall apart because they fall apart every time, even when they get new players, even when they get a new quarterback, they fall apart. Caleb Williams, I'm sorry, he has talent, but he's playing with a really bad organization that has a great history from the past, but have never been able to play up to the level of where they need to be today. So my thing is, when you get drafted high, you're going to a really bad organization. Now, if you get drafted in the lower rounds or low, you have a higher chance of going to a better organization, a better coach, a better front office, better GMs, the whole 9 yards, and more talent around you. So I really would like to see Shedeur go to a team even though Dallas is losing, we can't deny they still have talent, and they are a team in a big market with big money. You know, Jerry Jones is going to clean house with that team and bring in better talent. So I would like to see him go to a market like Dallas, Las Vegas. These are teams that are more, even though they're losing, even though Dallas is losing, they're just a little bit, they're better franchises overall, okay? Let's just keep it real. Let's tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
I don't want to, and then same thing with Travis. Travis is going to end up going to a real bad team versus him going to a team where he can learn from really good players on a good team that he can groom him and prepare him to take over, right? What's going to happen is, you know how this works. They go to a really bad team, they throw him out there, start him, and they either sink or swim. And then they're doing it on a really bad team. So that's my concern. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. Let's see. Let me see. Oh boy. Purdy still runs 49ers. Why would they leave him? I'm just saying that's the rumor. I'm not saying it's a fact. The question is, are they going to be willing to pay him the money that he wants? Because I'm hearing that he wants a lot of money. The question is he worth the money? He doesn't have a strong arm. He hasn't looked good this season. He threw a really bad football last week against who they played last week against the team. He threw a really bad ball, and he's been having some problems. Now, maybe it could be the elbow surgery that he got a year ago. Maybe that's giving him problems. I don't know. They are a team that has a lot of injuries. They don't have Ayuk out there. Debo is not playing very well. They have a lot of problems, and hopefully they can clean it up. Let me see. See right here. Shedeur, slow and holds the ball too long, like you said, trying to save plays in NFL. He cooked, gives me a can. I think they'll clean that up with him in the NFL. I think they will talk to him and they will tell him, hey, you can't hold on to the ball this long, young man. You're going to have to release. So I think Shedeur is going to be just fine. But the problem is he has to get the right coaches, the right staff around him, the right mindset, the right atmosphere. And I just don't think that Cleveland is the right place for him. Now, the Giants, I think he could probably do something with the New York. I think New York could probably resurrect themselves with Shedeur possibly. Because the Giants have had good teams in the past. They don't tend to have a lot of losing seasons. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, everybody. I gotta get ready to get on out of here. I appreciate you all in the chat room coming over. and doing your thing, everybody. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Take care. You've been listening to Prime Sports Media, everybody. Take care of yourself. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you have not subscribed, make sure you share this video on all your social media. I appreciate all of you out there. It's been a great doing a show for you tonight. I appreciate you all. And don't forget this right here, everybody. Peace. Thank you.
You've been listening to Prime Sports Media tonight.